Green Cup is back. It's my favorite cup and it was gone for the longest time.
It's because Rob hides it.
This one?
Okay, the camera is on, so it is 2 o'clock, and I would like to call the meeting to order. And all members of council are here this afternoon, along with our CAO and our office manager. And with that, I would like to have the resolution for the adoption of the agenda, please.
Resolve the agenda for the meeting be adopted and circulated with the noted additions. 5.5 for communication for action. 5.5, Grand Marais and District Seniors Inc. Grand Marais Remembrance Day Ceremony. Accounts of financial statements as of August 31st. 7.32, Canadian Polish Athletic Club. And new and other business 16.13, Boulder Bay Cottage Owners Association, and 16.14, Grand Marais and District Seniors Donation Request.
Okay, thank you for that. Can I have a mover? Councillor Bazarowicz, second please. Councillor Sutherland. Any further additions or deletions from the agenda or any other comments on our agenda for today? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Confirmation of the minutes. We have one set of minutes, and that is from our regular meeting on September the 9th. So if we want that resolution, please.
Resolved that the minutes of September 9th, 2025 regular meeting of council be adopted as presented.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Horvis, second, please. Councillor Boulanger. Any further discussion? Are there any corrections or amendments to those agendas? Go ahead, Councillor Strang.
I find that there's lots of stuff missing from our minutes on this last one.
Okay.
And I'm just going to give an example. I was the only one that gave a report. Just mine are in there. And I noticed there was other things that I went to look for. And which sort of hit me, Heather was not at the last meeting. She's in there. And it is also, I went to look at the East Selkirk Fire Hall to see when the open house was, and it just says there's no date or anything, which usually we put a date in there of what, it just says information for council, and usually we have more information on that for some of our local things, but I noticed there's things missing in it.
Might I suggest, Madam Mayor, that we get those things corrected and we'll adopt the minutes at the next meeting?
Sure. Yeah, so you'll have to give the office your list of the differences that you found, and we'll bring them back for next
Sure,
time.
and it's just different because I think we would have even residents that read them, so
Yeah.
just to have them fully done for
Okay, so is it okay with the mover and the seconder if we pull those over?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Councillor Spicer.
Just of note, I did notice the committee reports, but then I remembered I didn't have anything, so.
Either did I.
Yeah, there might be
wrong.
some
mayor.
members.
I wasn't here. And I believe the mayor said at that meeting that she said, I'm not gonna say anything because mine are all the same as
There was only a
everybody else's."
couple,
Yeah.
there was
She
only
did
a
have a
couple
couple
that I
that
had.
So I think there are some missing, but there's also some that are nil.
Yeah, we'll identify them as nil and so forth, and we'll go through the video and make sure that it's all up to date.
Yeah, yeah, we've got to remember that Kristen was, I think that was her first meeting by herself,
Yes.
so, yeah, so we'll get that
I
corrected.
just didn't want them to get passed, so because it wasn't the
Makes sense.
We'll get that all corrected and we'll bring them back for the next meeting, so. Our next item is the Selkirk District Community Foundation, and I see they're not here yet, so let's move on to communications for action. 5.1, the Manitoba Association of Watersheds.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This is on December 1st to the 3rd in Brandon, and this is for registration and hotel accommodations for any citizen representatives that may be covered by the Northeast Red Water District as well. We did post it out there as well, and wondering if any members of council are wanting to attend.
I think Councillor Sutherland usually goes to this one.
No, I haven't gone to that.
No? I thought that there was one that you always went to in December.
I
A long time ago, but I think
Conservation
it's gone for a
districts.
while.
Okay. Somebody over here have their hand up?
I think
Scott,
Scott's
did you
on
have your
that
hand up?
board, isn't he?
Yeah, I put down yes, and I apologize, I haven't checked with the executive director whether I need to pay because I'm on the board, or she's getting hotel rooms or not, so I think the best course of action is to pass a resolution, and then if there's no costs or you don't need to get hotel rooms, like I'll find out what needs to be done.
But regardless, we'll have
I'll
the
let you
resolution
know.
for you to attend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, resolve Councillor Scott Spicer be authorized to attend the Manitoba Association of Water Sense Conference at the Keystone Center, December 1st to the 3rd, 2025.
Okay, can I have a mover, please? Councillor Basil, Councillor Sutherland seconds. Any other discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. Next item 5.2 is the AMM Fall Conference.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This starts on September 19, 2025, and this will be this year in Winnipeg, and after this, as you know, it'll be in Winnipeg in the winter and in Brandon in the spring. And that's a consistent method.
No, that's, the conference is actually not till November 25th to 27th.
Oh, sorry, November, sorry.
Yeah, September,
Oh.
that's when the registration starts, or started. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Sorry about that.
that's okay.
We missed it.
November 25th to 27th, I think it is.
Yep.
So, I'm sure that some of us will be going, Heather.
I've got two people, yeah, Glenn and yourself.
Okay. And do you know if we have rooms anywhere yet, or you?
I'm sure there's rooms, I just can't remember where.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. If anyone else changes their mind and wishes to attend, please bring it forward as soon as possible, and we can get another resolution. Any other questions, comments? Okay, if we want to bring the resolution forward, please.
Resolve Mayor Feeble Corner, Councilor Glenn Bassroach be authorized to attend the 2025 Annual Fall Convention at the Red River, RRBC Center on November 25th to 27th, 2025.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Balanche, Councillor Orvis seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, call the question. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. Okay. Next one is the Northeast Red Watershed District tour.
Yes, Madam Mayor, they're offering a tour on October 15th to anyone who wishes to attend, and they're looking at various climate programs that are being established. One stops in Renault, second stops in Beausejour, and it's basically, I think, bring your own vehicle as part of the tour and sort of follow along, and then they'll supply lunch for anyone that's involved. And I think they're looking for just registration for anyone that's interested. This was an open invitation, as I recall.
Okay, was there any interest for anyone to go, Heather?
Scott.
Scott,
I
okay.
think there was one lady just below us.
Okay, so resolve Councillor Scott Spicer be authorized to attend the PWCP Drive Tour and Workshop at the Northeast Red Watershed District on October 15, 2025.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Bazarowicz, second, Councillor Strang. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, call the question. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. 5.4 is the Gaynor Family Regional Library, and it's an invitation for a sneak peek at the final expansion plans on Wednesday, October the 8th.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This will be in the evening at 7 o'clock till 8:30. And so This is dealing with the expansion, as I see that there's only one person registered for it so far as identified. Is there any other?
Glenn was a baby.
Should we, in this case, just say council,
Yeah, mayor,
mayor
council.
council,
Yeah.
and just in case any councilors can attend this?
Yes, that would be good. Go ahead, Councillor Spicer.
Yeah, I just have another meeting at 5, so I don't know if I'm gonna get there, so if I go, I know. So maybe, council.
Mayor and council.
Yeah.
Okay, so, because we are a significant member of it, so we
Yes.
should have some sort of attendance.
Yeah.
So resolve,
Sandra had something, I think?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I have a workshop that day with Red River Basin, so as long as
Busy
I'm out
day.
of my time,
Yeah.
so I took the day off, so as long as I'm out
Well,
of
yeah.
time that I will attend.
And we have a Red River planning meeting that night,
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Scott and I, so I can't go either. So if someone would like to think about it and perhaps have a representative or two from our municipality, that would be great, because as Deepak says, we are a significant contributor, and I think we have a lot of our residents that do use that library. So think about it. It's,
So you're saying you're not going for sure?
I am definitely not going. I have another meeting that day. So if you could see your way clear, or the other day, or Rob, it doesn't matter. I would like to see at least one or two people there. So, and I think we should maybe just leave it as council.
sure, so, just council, okay, so resolve, council be authorized to attend a special announcement and final expansion plan at the Gaynor Family Library on October 8th, 2025.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Spicer, Councillor Horwath seconds, all in favor, opposed?
What time is that?
7.
7 to 8:30.
8:30.
7:30 or 7?
7 to 8:30. And it says they got refreshments and light nibbles.
Wait, what?
And nibbles. Hors d'oeuvres.
And the next item, 5.5 on the agenda, is the Grand Marais District Seniors Remembrance Day service on November the 11th.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. It'll be at 10:30 a.m. on November the 11th. And so we have identified one member so far. Is that the only council member that will be attending? I'm assuming it is.
I
Or should we
would
say
think-
mayor and council?
This year, if we do get an invitation, I would be going to the Selkirk one this year. I was in Grand Marais last year, so I've kind of tried to
So who else
change.
is going, who's going to,
Grand Marais,
oh, I'll go to
Dave.
Grand Marais too.
Dave and Dave. Anybody else, any interest to go to Grand Marais Remembrance Day services?
So resolve, councilors Dave Sutherland and Councilor Dave Horwath be authorized to attend the Grand Marais Remembrance Day ceremony at the Grand Marais Community Central on November 11th, 2025.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Spicer, second. Councillor Strang, any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
That's at 10:30 a.m.
Do we want to have a
10:30.
delegation?
Thinking they're sitting outside?
Yeah, I think that
I'm just
Rob.
gonna Kristen to send
Yeah.
them.
Oh, okay, it's okay. Kristen's gonna send them over.
Question.
Go ahead, Rob.
November 11th is the second Tuesday of November. I guess we move our meeting.
We have to talk about
Okay.
that because both of our November meetings, there's conflicts on both of them, so we have to figure out when we want to have a meeting. A meeting. So,
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
You ladies can just have a seat at the front there and
Perfect. I have a slideshow, so.
Sure.
yeah.
Thank you.
We're not bumping you guys up at all or anything? You're okay for us to come in now?
We're good.
Okay,
We
we're
had
at-
you on our agenda for 2:15, and I believe it's just around that time.
Perfect, there you go.
Yeah.
Great.
Are you keeping busy these days?
We are, we are. I
That's
said,
an understatement.
I know, I asked Bev, can we have t-shirts that say, you know, Vital Signs Dog and Pony Show, you know? Because we're going out to see everybody who, all the major funders.
Right.
So, yeah, we've been to see the school division already and the city of Selkirk.
Okay.
And today you guys, and this evening, St. Andrews. So, there you go.
So you have a busy few days.
We do, we do.
Yeah. I also, if this works, I can also shoot it from my laptop.
No, it's okay, I can figure it out.
Yeah.
I just need to just make one slight change.
I haven't been across to the east side to see the new build next door. Whoa, way cool. That's very exciting.
Yeah.
It is very exciting.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And lots of activity in the subdivision, a kitty corner there too. I think
Yes.
there's 5 new houses coming up as of today.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So it's busy. This one is very exciting next door to us, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seems like it's come together pretty quickly.
You move quick.
Yeah.
Great.
Thanks.
Well done. And there was no question about what you just did. It's fall, right? They're finding their way inside.
Oh, yes, they definitely are. I noticed yesterday or the day before, we had lots of ladybugs.
Doesn't look like it.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
this the PowerPoint you'd like to show?
Yes.
I do.
No, it's ladybugs. Nope. No, they have a couple of corners in my house where they like to hang out.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. You put a sandwich down, you don't know if the bugger's gonna go down, right?
The glass hitting the computer, I think.
Nothing slowing down, remember, over at the other place? Or is it
Still going.
still going
Still
full
going, yeah,
go?
yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
When does the river shut down?
It slows down in November. Yeah, and a few in December, a few in February.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
It's
guys
me.
take January to regroup?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Take off somewhere.
Good for you. Go and find summer somewhere else.
Come up for air.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
right now, like, so,
Yeah.
no.
Spelling, yeah, exactly.
He did, when he goes, they go, oh, we can do that, you know,
They want it to be on.
yeah.
Very large file.
Well, it shouldn't be, but.
What's he get, Meredith?
Pictures are usually big, like.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, you get chatting away, you don't realize how much you just keep on pressing. That's what makes it more interesting too, yeah, exactly.
The highest resolution photos we've ever seen in this slideshow. Look, yeah. Yeah, no.
Getting there.
There's a PDF version of it too, just.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
No, we'll get it up. 89%
It's already
there.
there. It's almost there.
Yeah, 37 megabytes. Pretty large file.
Okay, great.
Microsoft has a tendency to make the files as a very large file.
There we go.
Well, it does speak back in the day when I used to have a flip chart and pasting things on the flip chart. So here we are, the Silver District Community Foundation. Are you good for me to get going?
Yes, you go
Okay,
right ahead.
good. Well, it's nice to see all of you again, and thank you for the invitation. So there's our current board. You'll recognize some of the faces in there. And as you know, our executive director, Bev Clegg, is retiring as of the end of December. And we're pleased to say that Meredith is stepping in as our executive director, currently continuing on in her role as our CDO, and then we'll mentor with Bev until the end of December, and it'll be an incredibly smooth transition, we know. It'll be great. So, like I say, I want to thank you for enabling us to be here. My name is Deborah Vitt. I am the current chair. You'll see David Thorne there. He was the past chair. And Ryan Wierbicki, he's right next to Bev. He's our vice chair. So, and then you'll see Brandon Sutherland at the back. And he and David were the co-chairs of the Vital Signs Committee. So you might remember that. We're here to show you a little bit about the upcoming Vital Signs report that is now come back from the printer. And I saw all 7,500 copies in boxes in Meredith's office when I stopped by to see her today. We're going to be publicly launching it next week, October the 2nd, so I trust you got your invitations and that's been good for you to be part of. And we are really proud of the report and the work that's gone into it. And we couldn't have been able to do the work without the support of yourselves. It enabled us to have the financial resources and also the public support to go out for the last 18 months and do the research and talk to people and collate the information that was given to us. The first Vital Signs, that was the Mind the Gap one from 2018. So this is the follow-up to that, as you know. And as you also know, I know, the Vital Signs is the community checkup, right, of St. Clements, St. Andrews, and Selkirk. And this time around, we did a bit of a deeper dive into the community and workings within the community to ensure as many voices as possible were able to be heard. So we'll flip to the next slide, please. Some of you might have been at one of the two different town halls. As a matter of fact, I see Ms. Evilhorn right over there. There you go. And maybe there's others of you in there as well. I can't figure out. So we did expand the research efforts from 2018. We held 2 town halls The first one was to help us set the research direction. And we engaged in employee probe research, as well as Shirley from PR House, right, thank you. And so we were able to generate ideas from the first town hall, and then we were able to come back a year later to show what we found and come up with some solutions, or some questions anyway, places to go. So in addition to that, we did a survey that we had a really good response to, according to surveys, which I never knew the stats on that, but we had a good response. And we also held 5 small group interviews in an effort to reach even more people that didn't come to the town halls or probably wouldn't have taken the survey. And that included going to the high school and speaking to the youth. So Brandon and Meredith went off to hang out with Kevin Lopak and the World Issues class over there. We worked with PASS, with the Indigenous community there. Trevor was part of our, Tristan was part of our committee as well. So we worked together and did one-on-one conversations with the community of unhoused that he was able to connect with. And also, this was the one that didn't surprise me in terms of the content, but in terms of how many people came, the newcomers. We were at the Gordon Howard Center, and we sent an invitation out to those who were recently either on visas or had immigrated into the community. We had over 25 people come. And that was a big eye-opener for all of us. Basic things that we learned, people who are renters, not property owners, wouldn't know about a lot of the services that come, when you get your annual reports and that kind of stuff, or your taxation bill, that you find the little community newsletters. They didn't know about it. So these young guys, there's 5 of them, talking about what to do in the summertime in Selkirk and that kind of stuff. And people said, well, why didn't you go to the pool? They said, what pool? They didn't know that Selkirk had a free pool for residents, right? So there was this aha moment that went back and forth. So the bigger learning out of that is, how do we go forward and continue to have these conversations that invite people out of silos and into conversation with one another. And so we had hundreds of community leaders, survey responders, town hall attendees, and the input was crucial, and people were very, very engaged. We were blown away by the passion and the energy that people brought to the process. In addition to the stories from the community, the report also is driven by regional data. When you look at the statistics, you'll see that we represented most of the numbers to see the region as a whole. We haven't siloed out or singled out any one particular community. There were some urban issues that came up that were particular for the city of Selkirk just because of their size, right? But this time around, there's also a technical report available online that will provide data for each specific municipality and include sources. So there's 2 QR codes within the report that you'll be able to pull away the data that Meredith and our team were able to collect. We'll go to the next slide, please. So the Vital Signs 2018 had 8 sectors. We have now expanded it to 10. And so we have the Indigenous community, health and wellness, youth engagement, education, housing and shelter, huge in every community, huge conversation. This is another one, food security and access. Yes, we're talking about the food bank, etc., and the soup kitchen in Selkirk, but we were also learning about opportunities for food distribution and access in the other municipalities as well. So how do we do that? How do we respond? How does our collective community respond to food insecurity in our communities? So the environment was definitely, Brandon was big on that one. Transit and active transportation. Conversations with students wanting to use more and more of the Trans-Canada Trail, right? Making sure that that's available to everyone. Recreation, culture, and heritage, safety and security, and income and work. So that income and work looked at those who are seniors, that kind of stuff as well. So in each sector, we did our best to balance personal stories that looked at individuals' experiences, their hardships, successes, and sometimes failures. And we tried to capture the realities behind the 10 sectors and give readers and leaders some context and a chance to learn more about reality in our communities. And each story is backed up with 3 to 5 data points and a list of 3 things we all as a community can do to improve the region. And that was the second town hall. We were able to break into 10 groups, and people were able to look at the findings that we had, and then we said, okay, this is all well and good, how are we as a community going to respond? So they were very vocal, and our committee had a very interesting time pulling that together to come to 3 to 5 pieces that we could do. And mostly, I shouldn't say mostly, but I'm very, very pleased that we were able to include the calls to action from the TRC report and the MMIWG Commission report and link them to each one of the sectors. So there's a, call to action number 93, call to action number 56. This might make the correlation. Brings the TRC report to light, keeps it in the forefront, and offers, a check and balance on how we're doing that things. So the next slide is Meredith's.
Yep. So we're going to now talk about 3 of the sectors, some of the data points there, some of the stories, just for a little sneak peek at what's actually in the report. And I can entice you to then come to the launch too. So first we'll talk about the sector Indigenous community. This is one of our new sectors. Previously, the information about our Indigenous community was in the inclusive community sector. This time we teased it out, gave it a little bit more attention. So one of the main data points on this page, and I believe there are 5, but what we're going to look at today is the statistics on Indigenous population, and I don't think this will surprise anyone here, but yeah, our region, we do have a very significant Indigenous population. So in our area, 14% of people identify as Métis, 8% identify as First Nations, and we have Winnipeg there as a comparative, where you have 6.5% being Métis, 5.5% being First Nations. So yeah, not a surprise. It's just such an important part of the makeup and history of our region, so we really wanted to give it that close look. If you can go to the next slide for me. On this sector, we have a couple different stories. We chat about some of the great programming through Holiday Alley, some of the Indigenous language programs at the high school. But one of my favorite stories in this section is an interview that we had with Elder Ruth Christie. And so everyone around the table, I'm sure, knows Elder Ruth, and yeah, she's just a real well of knowledge and a deep heart for the community about our history and moving forward, especially as we work through reconciliation. So in our interview with her, she shares some of her own history of working as an Indigenous nurse, when a lot of Indigenous people were not in that profession, and her experience of learning to stand up for herself and and now kind of spreading the history, spreading knowledge too. And she closed off that interview by saying that she feels hopeful for the future, and that we're going in a good direction. So that chat with Elder Ruth, I thought, this is our first sector of the report, and I thought it was a great way to kind of start things off. And she says we're moving forward, and I feel encouraged. So you'll probably also recognize where she's sitting. That is at St. Peter Denevor. She's on the bench that says it's for a tribute to Orcadian ancestors, especially her Moncton side. I think this is for her Moncton ancestors. So, okay, let's carry on to housing. So, housing was a huge conversation that came out of the previous report. In 2018, those consultations identified housing as the #1 gap. So we did some forums, some discussions after the launch of that report. This time around, when we did our initial consultation to set our research direction, housing again came up as a strong concern. So what you'll find is in this report, we've actually done a bit of a deeper dive in housing, whereas most of the sections are 2 pages long. This housing section gets 4 pages. It's a very complicated topic and deserves a lot of attention. Yes, it was a major concern. And one of the interviews there that we did was a chat with someone who was a former resident of the Tri-S region, and she just spoke to her experience as aging out of the home that she had and needing to find a new housing unit that was more suitable to her needs, and she actually needed to move to Tyndall to find something that suited her needs. So we had an interview in there with her, and the data does also show that there are challenges in our region for housing. One of the statistics, and you'll see it in front of you, is the housing prices. So in St. Clements, the average price for a single detached home in 2016 was $365,049. 2024, it's risen to $597,295, and it has risen across the board too. We see that trend everywhere. But at the same time, and this is the beauty of this report, the stats don't necessarily always reflect what is happening now, and we know that. So this is why it's important to have data and stories. So this data is from 2024, and to kind of complement it, we wanted to make sure that we're reflecting the new updates of what the projects are in the region. So, we have a story in here that includes a discussion of construction that has either been recently completed or passed, or, as of mid-2025 is under discussion. So, in this region, in the RML of St. Clements, it is 110 duplex-style units in East Selkirk, shovel-ready, 56 townhouses and apartments in East Selkirk, shovel-ready, and plans for an agent lease unit. So it's important in this report that we do show the steps, the good news as well, right?
Quick question.
Yeah.
On this slide here, the house prices average, if you guys ever do it again, it would be nice to show another bar of mill rate or taxes, what it costs you to live in these places, and have those bars in there, because it could be $320 in Selkirk or $597 in St. Clements, but what are you paying to live there?
So that's a good point.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good context, no, yeah, okay, thank you. The housing sector, when you pick up the report, when you come to the launch, you'll see that, we go through some of these stories, and it's a layered challenge that we all go through, and there is good news in that sector as well. Let's go ahead to the next slide. So another one of the sectors in this report is recreation, culture, and heritage. So, this sector includes, a lot of the good news from the region, and also just some reflection. I think we can see in the stats some of the interesting impacts of COVID. We have to keep that in mind for this report as well. So here we have a stat on library usage. So we all know that the Gaynor Family Regional Library, it provides a wide range of free programs for the residents in the area. We know that, and the numbers show that the residents also know that, where, our library's annual checkout rate has kept pretty strong over the past 8 years. If you look at the stats in Winnipeg and the rest of Manitoba, they really took a dive from COVID and haven't recovered yet. So I think this stat is really a testament to all of the wonderful things going on in that library, and that it gets a lot of community support. Like those numbers holding strong was really interesting for our data person to see from the probe research. So great to see so much support for the library. If we go on to the next slide, you'll see a familiar image as well. Another piece that came up during our initial community consultation was a need for an indoor recreation facility. We heard it from a lot of community members. We also heard it when we did our talk with the students at the high school in the global issues class, and when we're also talking with PASS, promoting Aboriginal student successes. Kids need something to do in the winter time, and we also need a space for families to do things together, to not be so segregated by age. And so this story is about the new activity center that is up at the southern end of the region. We had a discussion with Brendan Collins, an interview with him about this process, and he let us know that this was really 20 years in the making by a group of dedicated volunteers. These things don't come up overnight, so it's great to see it actually come to fruition after so much work. So yeah, this is a good news story about that building and how that's going to fill a vital community need. But also in that interview, it was a good reminder from Brendan that these facilities survive by a balance of staff support, but also community volunteer support. So all of those pieces need to be in place. And yeah, I think a lot of people will be glad to see that building in the report as well, and saying, see, like there's stuff happening, and now it's just a matter of supporting it and using it and that kind of thing. So yeah, there's that's just a quick peek. 3 stories, a couple data points, 3 sectors. There's a lot more in there, and yeah, I think it's an important report, and I think you'll all find it useful. So,
Great.
yeah, back to you.
All right, so 3 things that the foundation will be looking at in the coming years is to, for us, it's going to decide where we provide our grants. We use this report a lot, and a lot of our grant recipients and people who are applying for grants use the report, and they're able to say, you know, you've identified A, B, and C. We are able to provide one of these things, and it matches up with what you guys are able to do in the community. And so each sector of the report includes 3 things that anyone can do to make a difference, and we want to be able to check those things out. So what we really, and what we're already starting to find, is people want to come together and have conversation, in particular in some of the regions, about food and food security. What we found is having a conversation, in particular in Selkirk. We haven't had them yet here, but I would like, if we're going to hold a community consultation, I think it has to include all 3 of our representatives. People are working in silos, right? Delivering programming in different ways, and it's not enough to just get a hamper at Christmas time. How are we looking after people in our community? And by that I mean the royal we. And so we're going to be having conversations about that. Also, we'll come back to the table in 5 years' time or 6 years' time and do another vital signs and another checkup. So it'll be our 3rd one. So we're committed to that. So taking information that Mr. Boulanger here just shared with us, we'll make sure that we feed that back into our next go around, and probably add some of those points into the next 5 years as we share the report as well. And we would also like to use the data to strengthen our strategic plan. We'll be making a new strategic plan coming up in 27, I think, right? And the foundation is really committed to, we lift up the strategic plan at each one of our meetings. Where are we at in it? And we take a sector and take a look at that. And we also will use the data to talk to donors and granting, right? So this is what our community is saying. This is what you as a donor can perhaps respond to with your gift to the foundation, and how best would you like to see that used in our communities. So the launch is coming up. I think we have another slide for that. The launch is coming up on, yeah, that's the front page of our report. That is in behind the golf course in Selkirk. That's the Hearthstone, right? 2 individuals who were residents there and find that home. So Thursday, October 2nd, 6:30 doors open, 7 to 8 is the program, and when you leave, you will be each taking home a copy of the report. And we would ask you to register online, just so we have a sense of numbers, so it's there. That brings us to a conclusion. We are open for conversation. Anything that we can elaborate on, or take your questions and go back to the committee if I haven't got the answer for them.
I'm going to open it up for council then. Any questions from members of council to the group? Go ahead, Rob.
Just looking forward to this report. The first one was so crucial for us as a municipality, just planning for ourselves. You know, that report, the first one had so much data in it that we looked at, and this one here is probably going to be even more. So as a municipality, as we grow and as we try to look for programming and for things that people want and need, and even if it's people talking in your report right from Selkirk, sometimes those needs are the same needs everywhere. So
Good, great, thanks.
Anybody else? Go ahead, Councillor Spicer.
I don't have any questions now, because I'd like to read the report.
Sure. Well, you know what, we're open to coming back and having conversation, how's that? So once you get the report and you have a chance, we'd be happy to either having one-on-ones or anytime that you want to get a hold of our executive director or myself, please feel free to do that, and we'll open up the conversation even more.
Perfect. Go ahead, Deepak.
I have a question regarding what were your findings on one of the big factors that's, as Councilor Balaja said, is the previous report helped to set the direction for some of our strategic planning, especially towards housing and dealing with the shortages that were identified for specifically like seniors and other types of housing beyond just single-family dwellings in a community like ours. What did you discover from this current plan? Is that gap even increased? Is there a higher demand now? As you mentioned, there's some shovel-ready projects. Are they going to be enough? Are they?
Well, I mean, the report will have those data comparables on, prices of things, core housing need. So I think there is some growth for sure. Like there's improvements made, but the gap has not been really closed. Is what I could say maybe at this venue, without having the report in front of me. Yeah, in that sector, we made sure to talk to folks coming from a couple different levels of need. So we talked to Pam, who comes from the senior affordable housing side, and then we also talked to some folks about the need for transition homes and that sort of thing. So I can't give a very simple answer. Besides, once you get the report, we can, talk about more specifics there. Yeah, other than it's just a very layered situation and issue, but I think what we are seeing is more buildings going up, which is great. Yeah.
So this is there's one other question I have.
Go ahead.
It's consistently right through all municipalities, including Winnipeg and Manitoba. That's a very, very significant jump on housing prices, increasing 88 years. It's more than anyone would have anticipated. It's almost doubling. Did you find any indicators like what caused this?
There's an income gap. It feels that the way that I am not a statistician and can't, but what I heard around the table is housing prices are rising much faster than person's income. I'm not telling anybody anything new around the table, but it seems like the income is not getting anywhere close to the current housing prices. And we had a conversation about what does it cost for someone who's on social assistance. Those statistics are in the report. So what do you get per month on this at this particular date? What does an apartment cost you per month? What does food cost you per month? And I mean, that in particular has really impacted a lot of people who came to the event. We're talking to seniors in the same thing, right? Their pensions are only what they are, right? And the cost of everything is going up. So those are the stories we heard.
Okay, so you've identified 16 and 24.
I'm sorry.
You identified the years 2016 and 2024.
Uh-huh.
There wasn't a previous report in between those years?
The data was collected in 2016, I believe, for housing, but it would have only been published, the report published around 2018.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's where I'm confused though.
Yeah,
So I thought maybe there might be that part that was missing in between to figure out what was causing.
yeah, no, that report was released in 2018, and then what we're finding as we do these reports too is the turnover of information from Stats Canada can take a couple of years. So, a census might be done in maybe, so 2016, for example, but they don't just release all the information to roll out these couple of years. So sometimes we're working with older data.
Yeah, and 2021 seems to be the year that a lot of that data was available. We did hold back the report for a little bit because we were waiting for more data to come out, and we got bumped. No, it's another 3 months. No, it's another 3 months, and we just said we gotta go. We gotta.
I understand. I was
Yeah.
confused. I thought there
Okay.
was one, but
Right.
I know the
Yeah,
data's coming.
okay.
Go ahead, Rob.
Is Dave?
Dave too, one of you.
So, in your study with the housing, does it identify different areas? Like, what's the need? Is it just for low income, or is it seniors? Is that gonna identify that all in there? What the needs will be for those?
Yeah, I would say there's a couple different perspectives taken. Like we did talk to seniors, and then we also did talk to some young people and some people who are more on the social assistance side. And really, I think there's a magic number of like your housing or the amount of a calculation for affordable housing needs to be like less than $800 for it to be affordable in the actual official definition.
Yeah,
of
I've
the word.
heard that,
Yeah. So we talked to a couple different groups of people about the issue. So all of those people have different needs, and so they were very frank about some of the improvements that need to happen in the area. So I think, for example, when we talked to the harm reduction group, that conversation was about maybe there's a gap when it comes to unhoused people and that sort of thing. And a lot of those conversations show that these are, housing is not an issue on its own. It's all wrapped up in quality work.
Homeless, all that kind of stuff?
Addiction recovery,
And it's not particular to St. Clements, St. Andrews, and Suffolk. I mean, it's a global issue,
Yeah.
Canadian issue anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Go ahead, Rob.
Thank
I've
you.
got a couple of questions. This one here again. We have to understand demand. Realtors are going to keep asking for the sky, and if the demand is there, people are bidding 3 times on top of the last person.
I know.
These prices in the last report, 2016 to 2024, it's all about that.
Yeah?
If there's no houses out there, but the houses that are out there are asking X, people are wanting these houses, they're gonna pay what's been asked, so that drives the market up.
I know.
Look nationally, in Toronto, in Vancouver, in Winnipeg, all these prices are going up because of the demand. So realtors aren't silly, they're gonna know that they can just ask for the moon, and people are paying it.
Our little story here, our daughter had a house on Beverly Street in Winnipeg, right? Nice little house, not a great part of town. They got
grew up
90, they got, pardon me?
I grew up there.
There you go. Yeah. Well, you know what, they lived there for 10 years, great place, they did all sorts of work on it, it was a great house, right? They got 90,000 over asking. 90,000 over asking. They were gobsmacked. We were sitting there sorry, I'm taking your time, but I was sitting there, well, all of us, when they were like, the realtor just called them and said, somebody wants to pay that. Well, and then they turned around and paid 75 over asking for the place that they were
So
moving into.
so when you think of these numbers, these numbers are all reflective of that.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. So that was just my personal
Yeah.
moment there.
My second question
Yes.
Go
is
ahead, Rob.
what did, in your report, when you guys sat down and had all these meetings, what conversations came up, and I'm sure they did, on addictions? Addictions, addiction help, whether it be drugs, alcohol, whatever. what services, like, in my mind, you know, it's pervasive worldwide, right? In every one of our communities. What is our region? What is Selkirk, the largest one in the area? Like, was there conversation on that? How do we increase availability to people wanting help? All those kinds of things around addictions.
Tristan Drylick was on our committee, right? So he's with the harm reduction, thank you. Yeah, those conversations were definitely there.
Okay.
And it's a lot to do with funding. It's a lot about education. It's a lot about, we have a story in there from Maria Freeman. She shares a story of her 13-year-old son at the time.
He was 13.
He was 13 at the time, being offered meth, crack, whatever, some drug, and how she was gobsmacked at that, and so it's working together with the school. It's working together with harm reduction. It's also loosening the stigma, you know. Not in my backyard, but it is really in your backyard, in our backyard.
Public
Yes,
health.
public health, it's all in
It's
there,
right,
and I think that's what you'll find, what I'm finding, still digesting, even though I don't have a copy yet, because they're locked up in Meredith's office. But what I'm finding is that all of these 10 sectors are interconnected.
Yeah.
Right? And I hope and I believe that it's yet another jumping off starting point for all three of our communities, together with the foundation as an integral part of that, to live out the foundation's motto of here for good, because I believe that we are all here for good. And so hopefully this is a tool that we cannot just be stagnant, but that we can use it as a working document to move us forward to the next goal round.
Thanks.
Anybody else have anything?
Just one last thing, Madam
I have one too.
Mayor. Is the foundation working at all with United Way on some of the community measurements, community profile measurements to determine healthy communities?
No, Vital Signs, like that's a national program of Community Foundations of Canada. So we work with the CFC, and there's maybe 250-ish community foundations across Canada. And so that is more so the group that we work with to produce the report and share resources with them, that sort of thing. So Winnipeg Foundation, for example, they also produce a Vital Signs report. Winkler and Jocelyn's working on one. So it's becoming here more prominent, and yeah, so we stay within that Community Foundations of Canada umbrella. Yeah.
Yes.
I guess mine is more, I know, because I've attended the events that you folks have, but it seems to me that transportation comes up.
Huge, it's in there.
Oh, it's in there, okay.
Yeah, it's one of the 10 sectors. It's
Okay.
transportation and it's not, I can't remember, what's the other one?
Yeah,
I'll find it.
yeah, the
Yeah.
discussion of regional transportation.
Yeah, because I know that at one of the meetings, there was quite a few people got up and said, well, I have no way of getting from point A to point B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Transit and active transportation is the sector heading.
Okay.
And yeah, it's totally in there, and it's lots and lots about movement within the city of Selkirk, but also movement rurally.
Yeah.
How are we doing those things? And
Yeah.
yeah, there's in there.
Okay, anything else from anybody?
No. Certainly. Okay.
Okay, thank you ladies very much for coming out, and I will see you next week. I think it's next week.
Yeah, October 2nd, you
Yeah,
betcha.
I'm not,
Yeah.
and Sandra will be there, or
Perfect.
are you?
I was
No?
just
Okay,
gonna
go
say-
ahead.
I was just gonna say to you, if, Madam Mayor, I know you're going,
Yes?
that I don't know if you can bring back some books, because we have 2 commitments that night. There's
Yeah, we
other-
do have 2 commitments that
Yeah.
night, so I'm coming to your event.
We'll stock you up, you know.
Perfect.
Keep your trunk open, and we won't put in zucchini, we'll put in reports.
Okay, perfect, thank you so much. Have a good rest of the week.
Yes, you too, thank you so much.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Okay,
Take care.
thanks, yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to you later.
You betcha.
Oh, right. Okay, Brendan.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Brendan's here to introduce our recreation student, Kim, who's coming in from a kinesiology and recreation management program. And so, Brendan, go ahead.
Yeah, so we have Allison Bushman here. She's our student with us until December 5th. So she'll be tasked with assisting in the office along with, she gets her own event that she's going to be planning for the RN. I'm gonna let her talk about herself though, Chris.
I don't know what else to say really. I'm in my 5th year at U of M doing Kin and Rec Management. My major is kinesiology, but over the last couple of years I've taken an interest in rec. So when the opportunity arose for me to come and do my field work here, I jumped at it. I've been really enjoying it so far. I've been here for 2 weeks since the start of my 3rd week, and I've had a lot of opportunities to learn so far, and it's been really exciting getting to just, I don't know, see different things, and municipal rec is not something I've ever thought about before, so it's been really interesting. Yeah, we've gone to lots of meetings, some of them have been more interesting than others. Tomorrow we're going to a conference in Gimli where we're going to get to network with a lot of people, which I'm really looking forward to. And yeah, it's been really good so far, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the next couple months look like.
You're from the city?
I'm from West St. Paul.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, anything else that you wanted to add, Brendan, or
No, I
was it
think
just
she
kind of an intro and
Yeah,
yeah, awesome.
And I see she has an event planned already.
Yes,
Yes.
she's giving you guys an info sheet just for that as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I did mention, or I did see that we have that info sheet, so.
There's light at the end of the tunnel for the degree.
Yes,
You can see it.
I can. I'm very
That's a long
excited.
time when you think of it, all those years, and it's like right there.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm very excited. A little bit nervous, not sure what the next couple years are gonna look like, but I'm excited for that. Yeah.
Good. Well, thanks very much for coming out. I'm sure you were busy somewhere in the office. Do you have anything that you want to add, Brendan?
No, did you want Allison to be up here for the event, just in case there's questions or anything like
Yeah,
that?
sure. You guys can
Oh, sure.
go present the next one.
Okay.
We can hang around for a little bit.
Because I'm not sure where I've got 2 agendas going here, so.
Okay, Brendan, if you wanna, or is Allison presenting or you?
Would you like to?
No, thank you.
That's all good, that's fine. So Allison has decided to plan a community Christmas party event. So there's going to be vendors with crafts and goods, cookie decorating. Santa's going to be there selling hot chocolate and whatnot through the canteen, and there will be a soccer call. So the date is November 29th. Yes, correct. So she's giving you an outline of the events of the day, along with a layout of the community hall, just kind of for reference.
November 29th, I believe is what.
November 29th, yeah.
And have you had a good response so far on that?
Yes and no.
Okay.
It's a little bit hard to get a hold of some people,
Yes.
but I'm not stressing that too much. Just because trying a little bit of time before.
Yeah, I was
end
gonna
of
say you
November,
have a
so-
month yet, so, because
Yes.
it's for the beginning of November, correct?
The end of November.
End of November, okay, so
I've
yeah.
got some time.
Yeah, you've got some
But
time.
so far, not bad. I'm still trying to decide what contacts I'm gonna wanna make. Like, it's a lot of preliminary right now, but,
Right.
yeah.
Information's on our website.
It will be, yes. So there is a plan with Marissa already. Allison and Marissa are connected. They're going to be doing a advertisement plan for it. So
Great.
and it'll be going in the newsletter for October.
And Red River North Tourism.
They will be notified. Yeah, she did contact Val as well.
When it goes in the newsletter, can it, like, I don't know, who puts, like, can it be, because it's so soon in December, can it be right on the front page?
I can talk to Marissa, yeah.
Like, that's where it should be, because it's the closest event, and if you're having a hard time, I know what it's like,
Yeah.
right on the front, and if it's on our website, right on the front page, Christmas, whatever. Or at least soccer call, you know.
And if you could get a hold of those communities out there like Grand Marais and you know, Lebo and Gull Lake, all those communities, you know, try and get everybody to kind of help or come in or volunteer.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else have anything? Okay, I think you're done for today then.
Thanks.
Thanks so much for
Thanks.
coming in. Yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to
I'm
meet
sure we'll
you.
see you around.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye for now.
Okay, so the next Next information for council, information only. For council is the work done on the Hydro Park Trail. And this one, what we wanted to show you was the 3 phases as I discussed before, what were some of the advantages, what were some of the things we learned from it, and I'll just go over these things. There's mainly pictures here. It's a very large file, so it's taking a little while to load.
Yeah,
Lots of pictures. And the intent here is just to give you an idea of what had occurred. I have walked it with myself as well as with Councilor Belanger. Brendan has walked it several times.
Brendan too?
Brendan's the one who took all these pictures.
Okay. Yeah, I saw that.
Well, and I noticed that we did have an email from one of the residents.
Jim Brown.
Yes, did you?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay.
It was answered to.
And what was
Yeah.
the email?
What was the reply?
Or what was the
The email was he's appreciative of the work we did, however, he was a little concerned about the rippleness of the track marks that were left from the Bobcat, which will eventually go away. And I believe it was Tyler who replied to him and sort of quelled it, so I think it's only gonna get better, it's gonna settle more, it's gonna pack more, so his concerns were just, thank you, but is there a way you can touch it up? So it's just inevitable, some of the things that are gonna happen when you do a trail reclamation, so.
Correct.
It's gonna
And
ride
it is a
bikes
natural
around.
trail, so they're not asphalt.
It's not asphalt, yeah.
Okay, so as we can see, the trail was beginning to, this is several years of growth and encroachment on the trail that happened in some areas. It wasn't bad at all. In some areas, of course, it was difficult to get through, especially if you were mobility challenged. As we went through this is the initial pictures that were taken to show what the trail looked like. And then from that point, we went to the next step, which was to get this brushed. And so the first step was the brushing. As you can see, the brushing came in there, cleaned up some of the main larger areas, moved some big trees out and cleaned up the area. But the brushing, as I explained to Councilor Belanger, and as we saw through walking, there was so much growth within the trail that had encroached into the trail. It left a lot of still live, relatively live organic material. And I didn't feel that it was appropriate to then start mulching that into the gravel, because then it creates other issues.
Do they use our reclaimer? What was used for
No,
that?
it was just,
The contractor had a reclaimer.
Okay, thank you.
this is below $10,000 worth of work. So it was a very, very
I remember.
marketable, or a very, very reasonable amount
Yeah.
for the amount of, I think we did 5 kilometers of trails on this. And so that gives us an idea of how much would it cost to do just brushing, how much would it cost to do reclamation, and how much it costs to do also weed control. And so all 3 of those things need to be applied at various stages or different times.
So these trails that are in this system here that are parked in St. Clements, are they the responsibility of St. Clements to operate them and keep them?
It will be, they have been the responsibility of St. Clements. It was put in as part of the connection to the Canada Trail System, but it was an expansion through the Building Sustainable Communities funding.
Well, these trails here, these little ones that are whatever, but the Trans-Canada Trail, that's not up to the RM to maintain and look after
That's
that.
Dan Wester's group.
We do a
But we give
budget.
them
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
No, we give that money to them, yeah, or whatever, that contributes to that.
And he focuses on specific aspects, so if we want to keep them maintained at a different service level, that's where we'll be having that discussion through the budget process. What type of, and that's what I thought it was important, as you can see from here. This is an example of,
Just one thing, sorry there, if trails like this that are getting overgrown and whatever, they're not getting used lots. Because if the trail's getting used lots, it's not gonna get overgrown and whatever, because there's activity on it all the
The
time.
one
So
main,
that's part of it.
the one main piece that people used all the time wasn't as bad, but the
Yeah.
other pieces, because the growth happens so quickly, it gets out of control. People don't go in there, and if they don't go in there, it doesn't, if it's kept up, it's used.
and I think that's the question we have, is what we need, what level of service we need to maintain some of these other trails. So now what we know is, this is what it takes to do a brushing. We also know what it takes to do weed management. As we discussed at one of the council meetings, weed management in the spring and fall could be. So you could do 5 kilometers of weed management, and I think it was
No, $800.
to do it. So that might be something where you wouldn't have to do this level of work again on some of these trails. So the question comes up, which trails do we want to do some level of weed management through the Southbrook Weed Board and build it into our budget? Which trails would we do look at? So what is this level that we would expect? Obviously, the trail right outside, this is part of the Canada Trail system that was done here, right outside the RM office, you can see it. It looks more like a trail now than it did. Or, was it walkable? Yes. Did people see it distinguishable as a trail or just worn out area? Those are the questions I think council will have to wrestle with as we go through the entire budget process. But what this does is it gives us a good idea. But we know that if it gets overgrown to the level it did, this is what ends up happening just from brushing alone. You know, if you take a look at how much shrubbery, greenery are still on the trail after that, waiting for it to die.
We should keep up with the weed management twice a year.
In some cases, like in some areas.
Wherever it's needed, yeah, that's.
I was just gonna, yeah, thank you. I was just gonna say, since this trail was made, was how many years ago?
About 5 years ago.
This is the first time we've ever done any maintenance
Yep.
to it. That's the
Yes.
other bad, that's the bad part
That's what
of
I'm
it.
getting at.
Yeah, the
That's
bad
what I'm
part
getting
of it is you almost have to be, if you were maintaining it, you wouldn't have to put so much money into it.
It was
But
in
it was the big, yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead, Dave.
So who will be looking after these trails? Will it be Brendan? Will he be in charge of these trails?
Common. Ideally, what,
I think this trail is 3 years old, because these are the ones that we get over here, right? They're not 5.
I got pictures, I got years,
Yeah.
I can look. Ideally, what you want at the end of the day is when you create an active transportation route like we have right now, is you want to get your community, I've said this before, you want to get your community involved, you want to get ownership taken over from it.
Yeah.
You want eventually, Dave, the community to put their arms around it and embrace it and look after it. That's going to take time. We've got some people who are interested. I can tell you that in the future, I will be one of those people, futuristically, who will be looking and wanting to take sort of, how do I say, making sure that things stay up to snuff. Through fundraising, through everything else. I'm trying to take pressure off the municipality and say, let the community group take it over. And once you get that, once you get people taking ownership, it takes the pressure off the RM, and ultimately, that's what you want.
But to answer your question, trails will become part of recreation management planning. And so recreation will be developing a trails master plan that we talked about.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so all of this sort of aligns with it. And yes, as the community begins to grow and as we begin to, as you're seeing the development occurring in the community, there's going to be more need for these kinds of recreation opportunities for the residents. And so what we're learning is, and the big thing was that I made a promise to come back and show what were some of the learning factors. So this is one of those. So as you can see, there was a lot of, once it gets out of control, it takes a lot to get, and there's a lot of material that gets left behind. And so the next step was, after that, was to learn from that $800 worth of 5 kilometers of spraying, a very economical solution for getting on top of it. So this is 4 days after. Normally they said about 7 days is when you begin to really notice the difference. And so, yeah, basically.
Yeah, 12 days sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, that takes,
And so, but it's beginning to show you what the deadfall that's occurring just beyond the edges of it, so that stops from that encroachment that we were encountering there. And you can see that it's beginning to happen, and you're beginning to see the growth. But the most interesting part here is the spray helped to. What you're not seeing is all that growth, that was all that organic material sitting on the trail anymore. So once we waited long enough for the Roundup and everything to kill everything, including all that other material, what ended up happening was this is a lot more cleaner at the end of the day. From that, where you're seeing how it's beginning to work, like reclaiming it happened. Now you're beginning to see what the reclaiming produces. can see now it's a trend. Yes, yeah, some people may not like the tracks and so forth. Remember, winter, rain, and all those things help to manage that. That's normal course of business. But what I'm noticing is there's already bike trails, bike marks, so people are already using it for purposes. And you're beginning to see some areas are quite, like now where you're beginning to see the reclamation and the management of the growth on the other side of it, so that these trails, and if you're able to manage to that level, they can be kept in a very good shape for relatively minimal amounts. So that allows you to set maybe some service level standards. Certain trails require are consequential, identified by the municipality, and certain trails are not as consequential and will require less maintenance.
Go ahead, Councillor Spicer.
So 2 questions. So did we reclaim the whole works then? Because we were kind of talking
Except for
about-
one little gap where the construction is occurring right now,
Okay.
beside the office.
And you're talking basically about a similar to roads, right?
Correct.
Some roads, like we have high traffic roads that we do more maintenance on compared to ones that have less traffic or their speed limit is lower.
Exactly. As an example, if you're looking at it as an active transportation trail, and I know there's lots of opinions out there, but generally speaking, as active transportation trails, you're mainly intending to connect point A to point B, because that's what people are beginning to use it for. Then what you have is offshoot trails, and that's what we have here. The offshoot side isn't, but it requires less maintenance because you're not going to be looking at people using those other than possibly for nature walks. And so you need to be able to just accommodate that. So does that have to be at the same level as an interconnected trail? And those are the things we have to wrestle with as we move forward.
Go ahead, Rob.
Before the snow flies, I really think it would be fun to have a little meeting if we all want to, if people got, I know people are busy, but especially a portion by the steam plant over here, just south of the mayor's place. If we met there and just did a walkabout, grab a coffee, I think it's important as our active transportation trails grow and improve. These trails are absolutely beautiful to walk in. When you get in that old growth forest, you guys will be, if you've never seen it, as an elected official, I think it's important that all of you know what we've done. When I say we, I mean council, the RM. Our active transportation system is growing. We want to do more, but I think every one of us should know what's out there. When you have a ratepayer call you, you can speak to it. When there's issues with it, you know about it. When things come up about it, you know about it. But if you haven't gone and looked and walked them, it would take us 40 minutes, 48 minutes. And I think if all of us did that, it would be really neat to just go and walk and have a chinway. Then you know what's out there, because it is absolutely beautiful. Just, that's my comment.
Okay. So if anybody's interested, just let Rob know, and maybe we can get Deepak to put something together. I would love to, but I don't know if I can do the walk, but.
Okay. Maybe we'll get a golf cart together.
Well, I walked the trail, not this part of it, but the older part of the trail I walked for a long time when I was able to, so. Yeah. Any other comments, questions on the update on the trails?
One thing,
Go ahead.
and like Rob, that's a good idea that you have, like, to get volunteer work for people to maintain it, good idea. But I really think that money should be budgeted every year to spray these trails, like you,
Yeah.
they're cleared now, they're mulched, and you spray them, and for sure it gets done. It's not a lot of money,
We use the
because it's
weeds.
important, as you say, Rob, to keep them in good shape. And
So,
spray the weeds and, half your problems.
We're supporting the weed district too.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Okay, do we want to move on then?
Thank you to Brendan for putting that together.
Okay, I think
Well, thank you. Okay, so Graham Murray Community Central, this is for the Selkirk District Community Foundation request for support, a letter for their request for the pergola that they're looking at putting in there. And they're looking for support letters. We've, Brendan's provided a support letter that we would give them for this particular project, which is the creation of a pergola for, to enhance the outdoor side there as well.
Is that
So they're not-
GMCC?
GMCC,
Yeah.
correct, and they're not asking for any additional funds from the RM at this point. So,
anybody else have anything? Go ahead, Councillor Strang.
I know this is coming in front of us before the discussion that they were gonna be putting one up, and I actually thought it was in the progress that it was done, it was gonna be finished by this time. You thought that too, okay, yeah, that's what, actually the mayor and myself were up in that area, so we took a ride into Grand Marais to have a look at a few things, and I said, oh, let's look where the pergola, I pulled over, but no, I didn't realize, yeah, and then I didn't realize it wasn't
They
progressing
were
yet. I
hoping
thought
to
it'd be
have
done.
it up, but they were waiting for the findings, so.
yes. So, similar situation, another application. When they came in to call our, when Selkirk District Community Foundation said that they were taking time for grants, I had Brandon contact with his agency who was interested in making those applications, and these are the ones that have come back and said that they wanted some help in doing that. And so the next one is Stony Point, same situation, they're looking forward to moving towards a grant, and it's the new doors and a new furnace at the community center to better serve the community. Basically, they're looking at upgrading that equipment that's basically out of date.
So you don't need resolutions for these?
No,
Okay.
no resolution.
Because they're not asking us for it,
No.
we're applying over and above.
Exactly. We're bringing it as information for council so that they're aware that these things are happening. The next one is the Public Works residential meters part of the program. And so what this is that as we've seen growth occurring in the RM, we're also seeing a need for installation of our 5/8" residential water meters into these new developments, and we're running out. So we're giving council, looking for a resolution from council so that we can expend the dollars of approximately $32,000 for 60 units that we can have on hand so that we can continue to support development as it occurs and install those residential meters in those locations. Manager of Water and Waste has identified this. This does come out of the utility budget itself, and it doesn't have a direct impact on the budget. The numbers are there, but still needs a resolution of council.
Go ahead, Councillor Boulanger.
Mr. Administrator, answer my question, thank you.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Councillor Spicer.
So for clarity, these are for single-family dwellings.
Correct.
We have enough larger meters for the development next door, maybe the one across the street.
We usually order those on a demand basis as opposed to having a large stock
Okay.
on hand.
Thank you.
So are these just for the East Selkirk area, or can these meters be used south of Lockport too?
They can be used anywhere. within the
Anywhere,
RM.
okay, but it's all under the East Selkirk utility. Okay,
Correct.
that's where my confusion was.
Yeah, so for water, we only have one utility.
Right.
For sewer, we have 3, and which are now turning into 2. The one for East Selkirk, Lockport is being shut down as a utility, and Sunset Lane for the sewer.
Okay,
So these
anything
are-
else?
They're just gonna be on hand, we don't need to.
Correct.
So it's a no-brainer, because you might as well buy them now, they're not gonna go down in price.
Correct. And you need them because otherwise you're holding up construction if you have to wait.
Exactly, yeah.
Go ahead, Councillor Spicer, or, yeah, Councillor Spicer. I knew somebody had their hand up over there.
I think I jumped on the gun, I was gonna move it.
Oh, okay, so for the water meters, a resolution coming forward, Mr. Administrator?
Be it resolved that council accept the recommendation of the manager of water and waste authorizing public works to purchase 60 5/8 Mueller water meters for a total of $35,950 to be borne by the East Selkirk Utility as described in decision paper PW 2025-15.
Okay, moved by Councillor Spicer, second by Councillor Sutherland. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, call the question. All those in favor, opposed, carried. Okay, next on the agenda is
The half-ton truck for
Half-ton
Public
truck
Works,
for
Madam Mayor.
PW.
And so this is the purchase of a half-ton truck, pickup truck for Public Works. As mentioned in the past, in the decision paper, we have bought usually gently used equipment as opposed to brand new. And but what's turning out is the used equipment that is becoming available for pickup truck is turning out to be around the same kind of kilometers that we have on some of our old trucks, because used equipment is sometimes coming in at a relatively decent price. We had $60,000 identified in the budget for this year for a replacement. We went out to the lots and took a look at what's available for new equipment, and we did do it as a tender for the trucks and made sure that at least it was something that was relatively just factory order or in like a stock type of equipment. And yeah, it does, some of them do come with some of these, but that's the basic level that they're providing. They're not made to order type trucks. And the best price we received is for the 2026 Silverado 1500 cab with 5.3 liter V8.
They look at electric vehicles at all, or no?
No, not at this point. I am still working with the, not Taché,
I know what you mean, yeah.
Risho, I think it's Risho, and I've been talking with them about what they did with the electric trucks that they received. They did buy several, and so this year's a good year to learn from them, and hopefully we can try, if the federal government continues to offer that program, at 80% cost recovery.
We can't do it now.
No, not this time. And the challenge still is, municipality like ours,
I don't think it would be that great of an issue here, because those half-tons are in every night over there, so they plug them in, so nobody goes more than 500K in a day, or 300 and some K. There's no way they do it again.
true, yeah. It's the winter that we have to sort of verify how well they do. Because usually gets cut by about 30 to 40% of what your
Oh,
maximum
you
is.
would know.
I would.
Yeah.
And so that's where I've been losing 30 to 40% of my car, although it hasn't had any impact. So I think there's an opportunity definitely to take a look at it and see, and technology is changing dramatically. What I'm hoping for, to be perfectly honest, is that the federal government opens up the doors and allows some of the new electric vehicles coming out of China, because they're about 1/4 to 1/6 the price of the other equipment.
Much cheaper.
Go ahead, Councillor Belanger.
A couple of questions. I noticed that there isn't anything from Ford. Did they not want to get pricing from Ford? 'Cause
They
they're-
sent it out to every,
Says there were
seven that they sent out to, and the only ones that responded were Geneva Dodge.
Okay. Second question was, there's nothing gently used out there. I know a lot of these lots take on used trucks with 50,000 kilometers.
The tender did ask for that, what was available, and what was available on their lots and so forth.
And nothing came back gently.
Nothing came back that wasn't as, to anywhere near the kind of kilometers that we already had on ours.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Councillor Strain.
Are we getting rid of truck off our fleet, or are we adding to it?
We're adding to the fleet right
Yeah,
now.
well, Shoreside, who's that?
Isn't it?
So is this just one more person getting, like, that doesn't have a vehicle that we're adding to the fleet now? Or,
We're adding to the fleet so that we can have it for use with people in the people at Public Works, but also for when we have summer students. And they have to go pick up garbage and other things that they aren't being supposed to do. Go through transfer station laborers.
Was this in the budget, though, or is
It
this?
was in the budget.
It was?
Yeah.
Okay, anything else? You want to bring the resolution forward?
So, remember, we also increased the number of staff at Public Works this budget year.
So everybody should have a.
Not everybody. But we need to make sure that we have enough equipment for all our staff that are needing equipment. So the tools are needed to be able to do the work. So be it resolved that council accepts the recommendations of the Director of Public Works, authorizing the CA to purchase one half-ton truck, 2026 Silverado WT 1500 from Shoreside GM as quoted for the price of $54,662.07 per truck, plus applicable taxes, although it's only one truck we're buying.
Can we take that per truck?
Yes, we can take the per truck
Thank
for the
you.
price of $54,662.07 plus applicable
Or
taxes.
maybe we should put in there unless we hire someone else.
Okay, I have a mover, Councillor Bazarowicz moved it. Can I have a second, please? Councillor Spicer seconds. Any further discussion?
I think I must address Councillor Corpus's comment. We will not hire anyone unless council authorizes.
Okay.
I have a mover, I have a seconder. If there's no further discussion, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, the next item is the Beconia Shop
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
security system.
So this is the security system for the Beconia shop. As you know, last year we went through a sort of a review and received multiple bids into comparison for the hardware for our public works and kept the same. And so what we're looking at is having to upgrade and replace some of the equipment in the Beconia shop. And so as part of that, we are sticking with Dakota Lock and Key for the $20 per month for the monitoring and support, as well as we have to buy some of the equipment in order to put it in the Beconia shop. So the total price on this project and cost is for the upgrade of the system, for which was budgeted and falls within the approved budget, which was $30,000 at $20,023.36 plus GST.
Any questions or comments? Go ahead, Councillor Strang.
Where does a phone call come to, say if there was interruption with the security after it's set, the alarm goes off? Does that go to Kevin, or does that come to the office here? Or?
It usually goes in the Public Works, it usually goes to Kevin first, as I recall. And I think it also goes to our emergency line that we have, that's off after hours line, which then follows the mechanism of contacting the appropriate people.
Go ahead, Councillor Sutherland.
Said there's no contract with Dakota, but I guess they haven't been a problem. But, you know, the $20 per month, they could put it up anytime they want, but obviously we've dealt with it before and it hasn't happened, so I guess not really an issue, right?
Yeah, we've been using it for our water treatment plant.
Yeah. So it's not as if they're gonna all of a sudden bump it up
No.
2 months from now to,
We don't know who Dakota Lock and Key are.
okay, thanks.
You from around here, or? The city?
Go ahead, Councillor Spicer.
So just for clarity, we are putting in the alarm system, the camera system, and the booster.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything else?
Okay, be it resolved that council accepts the recommendation of the Director of Public Works and authorizes the CAO to award the security upgrade to the Dakota Lock and Key at a one-time upgrade cost of $20,023.36 and a monthly fee of $20.
Okay, can I have a mover, please? Councillor Strang, second, please. call the question. I guess the resolution doesn't say which shop we're talking about. Should it not be in there? But should,
It does, I thought it said Victoria.
nope, not in the resolution.
Oh, it says it on the thing.
Yeah, it's basically, yeah, we can certainly change that. The council accepts the recommendation. Director of Public Works and authorizes the CAO to award the security upgrade to Dakota Lock and Key for the Maconius shop security system at a one-time upgrade cost of $20,023.36 and a monthly fee of $20.
Okay, thank you. I had a mover, I believe, and a seconder, and with that change, you're both good with that change? All right, I'll call a question, then all those in favor, opposed, and carried.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And so the next item is that we received a request from the Interlake Eastman Group for hospice care and terminally ill people that they're requesting.
We skipped this
Sorry,
one.
community entrance signs, sorry. So the community entrance signs, as you may recall, there was a lot of discussions about installing community entrance signs, and we did do the initial one. Congress here to talk about it, and I won't steal a lot of his thunder. We've talked about it and gone back and forth. He's now come back with some possible recommendations for us to take into consideration that we can use as opposed to the sign that was developed, which looked really nice on paper, but at 100 kilometers an hour was very difficult to complete.
Okay,
I like the new lettering.
so we have 4 new designs. Okay, so I printed out physical copies because it's hard to tell the color scheme when we're looking at it on the computer or the projector or the monitor or a printer. It's all kind of
These are
different.
all the same.
Sorry, there's 4 different designs there, this side of the table, so that Deepak has 4 of the same, and then Debbie Scott has 4 of the same.
You don't have any 4x8 sheets?
They're
There's
not
only
all the
2.
same.
No,
They're all different. Okay, so what I'm asking council to take a look at is this side of the room has 4 different templates. This side has the same 4 different templates.
Okay.
So what I would ask is everyone to pass them around from Deepak to Boulanger and then Debbie to Spicer.
no, it's different.
Scott's still got his.
Yeah.
Are you sure they're all the same here?
No,
These two
they're different.
They look the same,
They
but
look-
they're
Are
not.
you?
Yeah.
One of these things
So-
is not like the other.
So for example, the copy that Deepak has in his hand is a bluish tone, and then there's a grayish black tone. And then the one that Councilor Sutherland has, it's the same thing, he has a different one. Councilor Strang and Boulanger, they have different ones as well, but one is blue and one is gray. Okay, so this side of the room also has those same 4,
Oh, yeah.
but just, again, they can pass it around to see what kind they like the most.
If
I have
this
one
way you can
question.
see it.
Yes,
I think Scott can.
Why is the top of the circle offset from the bottom of the circle?
That's a blue and a
that
gray.
is how we redesigned our
If you look
logo.
at
And
it
then-
closely, then you can see.
And
So our
it's
logo-
the writing
That's right.
too, 'cause
So our
everybody's
logo is in a
writing
perfect
is
circle,
See right there.
which is a little bit challenging to see how it's cut out there.
This one is over the balloon.
Yeah, and also
that's
the
a-
St. Clements.
That's a different one. yeah.
That's because we're in the water.
It's copy of everybody else had one like that.
And we're going with the block letters, right?
Compared to this.
Well, this is the thing, we have,
More to me.
all these options are what we can go with.
Because when you drive by the sign in that script, it's hard to read.
So here are the ones on the screen. So let's go on the screen. The first option is to have a welcome to St. Clements.
Yep.
Okay? The big thing that Tyler wants to show you is there's 2 options. Blue, like a dark blue,
Yeah.
and a dark gray. They're very close to each other, but one of the things we want to have a discussion is the color. So let's settle on that first. As you can see, there's a slight difference. It's not a huge difference,
Yeah.
but it can be noticeable when it's finally printed on metal.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
Right? And the dark blue is one of the things that Tyler wants to bring to your attention, would match very closely to the dark blue that's already out there by utilizing, Broken Head and I think Alexander or somebody, or
so it's Broken Head. So the Arm of Broken Head has they have new entrance signs throughout their municipality, but it's a royal blue. when you drive by their sign, it's blue, right? So what I wanted to print out was a kind of an in-between bluish gray. Again, on the paper, what I see on my computer, it's kind of different. So if we can just kind of agree on the tone, then I can kind of fine tune it. But that was the one thing that popped in my mind. Personally, my opinion, I like the blue. I also made the black one, but it's really matte gray, it's a nice gray.
If you could see the gray there on the blue, there's a slight difference on the TV screen.
Yeah,
You
you
can
can
see
see
it.
it.
So there's a slight difference.
See, because when I look at this big screen, my eye sees black, but it's not black,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Like when we designed it on my computer, it's like a matte gray.
Yeah.
So then, but then that's the challenge with doing this on 5 different screens, right?
Now, just scroll up and down and see if you can see it.
Take the
So
big
for
light
example,
off, Scott.
Yeah, see the blue and the gray now?
This is that gray,
Oh, yeah. I can see the gray there.
Yeah, the
right?
blues
But
are
I can see the
forward.
blue.
Yeah.
So it's a little different than that.
I like the
So
blue.
if we can settle on the blue, if everybody's
Yeah.
fine with the blue,
Okay.
I like the blue.
Then we're gonna stick with the blue,
we'll stick
okay?
with the blue. Then it comes down to the design. Welcome to St. Clements with a welcome to over the circle and St. Clements, the
In
place to
block,
be.
in block letters.
In block letters.
Yes.
And the place to be written out. Then you get the block letters with it spread out with larger letters now. Welcome to St. Clements, the place to be, as a sign like that, that's an option. And the other is, welcome to with Bellevue, welcome to Bellevue on what each side of St. Clements, written in large below. And then the last is the welcome to St. Clements with the logo in the center and the writing on the bottom. So just a couple of things for you to take into consideration. That one utilizes more of the space of the entire sign.
Mhm.
You leave a lot of empty space. And you know, if you're gonna have a big sign like this, so the one that Councilor Horbus is holding up is utilizing the sign more. This one is the other option. Those are the two that I think you're debating about. So we are leaning more towards that.
I'll tell you what,
I like this,
if that one's nice, the design of it, why I chose this one is because these are all in capital letters. So if you drove by it at 100 kilometers, what are you gonna see? Pick right away,
Yeah.
right?
well, you could change these to
To
capital
me,
letters.
I like this one.
Which one?
It stands out. You pick that St. Clements up
Yeah.
right away.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's the
so-
one I
See,
picked
that's
too.
different
So
than the one
that's-
Sandra has. The welcome to is on the top of the one.
Well, that's fine, okay, I'm sorry.
So maybe we
Take away
can,
the French
We
one.
don't live
That's the
in,
one I like.
we don't live in
Just
Richaud.
because
Yeah, I'm
St.
with you.
Clements is the biggest.
That's
Yeah.
where I'm at.
so if you wanted to do St. Clements in larger lettering, would this sign work better?
Okay, so
Imagine that with St. Clements
Can you see
spelled.
That's the French one, we're not
We
doing
can
the
tweak
French, we all agreed on that.
Yeah.
That's what we're.
Can you do it right now?
No, council agreed on the French one.
No, it's just.
Tyler, do you have the,
Yeah, like that's what
Word
you need
file
to
or
do.
whatever
You
was
gotta
created?
think you're driving by
I
it.
know, I don't.
And that's what, you know,
Just
when you
the
don't
PDF.
think about that.
Just
Well,
the PDF?
Sandra,
Ross,
you're missing.
Can you see if-
This beside-
see if,
this.
And Scott, turn yours
see if Marissa
around.
can tweak it and say,
Welcome
take
to-
this, welcome to St. Clements, make St. Clements,
In
all
uppercase.
capital letters.
Okay, but then, for clarification, welcome to stays the same, St. Clements goes capitals?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, give me one.
What do you want, welcome to?
we're timing
We
you,
can take.
we're
we
timing
can-
you. Okay, go.
Okay, so just, okay,
I guess the question though is St. Clements is still gonna be smaller
Yep,
on that one than one of these.
I'm with Scott, I like,
Okay, come over here and stand with Scott.
come over here, Scott.
Doesn't matter if you make them capitals or not.
Yep,
Like if we were that concerned about being able to see the name, which is why we've changed it, I think we should make it as big as we can.
I agree. I agree.
Okay. I mean, the right.
So we're looking at this one with the black, no, that one.
Yeah,
With the logo on
they're
the
looking at
side.
this one, this is the one they want.
No,
Is the no,
Well,
the
that's-
logo on the side, right?
no, this one, the one you're looking at right now. With the St. Clements.
I don't care about the welcome over top, that's fine, either or, but this St. Clements is what's important to me. Like here has welcome to, that doesn't. Down here, I actually, but the welcome over top would probably be better.
I like this one too.
Which one, Jeff?
This one, but St. Clement's all in caps.
Yeah.
Okay, I think they're changing it right now, I'm gonna bring it
Well, I think we
down.
might have it then.
We have it?
Yeah.
No, I don't like that.
I'm gonna click share. Or just email
Click
it
share.
to you.
Go ahead.
Other day.
I don't know, that's where I'm.
Do you wanna drive by 120? See if you can read it, I'll go out on the highway and stand there.
She had it blinking in the sun and see.
A little more dangerous, try with your bike.
It can be done, sure. Yeah.
I'm with this one or that, like the welcome to this.
Yeah, that's,
That one,
This is beside it, it takes
just
away
looks
from
better,
your
the other
shape
one
of
just
it.
looks kind of out of proportion.
Which one are you at? You still want to do this side?
I'm on the side one, yeah.
He's with the mayor.
I'm with
The
the
deputy
mayor.
mayor and the mayor
I'm
are
with
aligned.
the mayor and Strang and Mr. Belanger. So that's, if I count it right, that's 4 to,
How'd you get Sandra?
3. Oh, Sandra?
She's not with you.
You're not with us? Oh, you got your own? Okay.
I'm a date.
You with Dave? Oh, wow. Which Dave?
So I went to the washroom, you guys decided?
No,
Okay, here we go.
okay.
Oh, so Scott didn't even vote, so he's a man.
Scott's with me, or us.
Yeah, in the washroom.
Well,
Don't be a sore loser.
Here we are, council.
Okay,
How's that?
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, we went down to 4 to see if we could keep this at the actual level. Even those 4 were.
Okay, the color was
We
easy.
came up with a fifth.
The color was good.
So that's the blue, as you can see, it looks
Yeah.
good. And goes with the rest of our blues that we normally use. Goes to our website as well, which is also blue,
Do you
and
want
that
to,
kind of thing. And
just a question, do you want to mix script with block letters?
Yeah.
You can't, okay, as long as it's.
I think like looking at this right now, this was a quick one, it needs to be rebalanced. Like the welcome to St. Clements and the logo are too low.
Yes.
So we would have, I will rebalance it, but this was like a quick 1 second
Fix.
redo it. And then all the font went different sizes when we put the capitals in. So we'll rebalance it and make it really
No,
nice.
that's good. Well, let's get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
gonna go, thank God.
Oh, yeah.
okay, we're done.
Okay,
So we'll go with this design more or less.
well,
Okay.
did we vote?
Yeah, Dave wants a vote.
I made it. I'm good.
Recorded votes, yes, we,
Yeah.
Madam Mayor, we have a recorded vote.
You're the decider, eh? Okay. You just
Yeah,
have
like
to-
once you.
Just need one more person to agree with the mayor.
play with it.
Glenn's.
Glenn's on your side. Andy.
Are you going to center the welcome to
No,
with St. Clement's, or is it gonna be lined up on the left-hand side?
it would be lined up on the left-hand side.
It kind of looks balanced now. You put that up there like that. No, up.
Yeah, okay, so there's a good point, like if I,
Yeah.
it's pretty close.
Okay.
If not, it's almost perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I spoke with Ryan from Airmaster today and said that we were hoping to have something set in stone today. So he's gonna do his absolute best to push this once we have the green light and get them installed before we go with our plan.
The green light is going to give it.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sandra.
Those other ones were never printed, right, except that one boo-boo one that you
Correct.
have? Okay.
Correct.
That's the one at 59.
Yeah.
So we're good.
That one
Okay,
we're going
good.
to keep in the RM office.
So I have one.
Somebody took it
question.
already.
No.
Yeah.
It was there this
It's in the
morning.
back of my house.
Go ahead, Councillor Spicer.
So this is the recommendation from the administration? Okay,
Except it has capitalized letters, so recommendation from the administrator should modified by the council. So it's a
so are you
concerted
gonna,
effort on both parties.
you're not gonna update your report and bring it back to the next meeting?
No.
We're done.
Thank you.
okay?
$80 worth of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on from our community entrance signs, as you may recall, the hospice care is an area that's been identified for significant response.
Thank you, Tyler.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Tyler.
Thank you very much for that,
everybody.
Tyler.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Tyler. So, which has been identified for support, and a request has been made by the Interlake Eastern Region, from the residents of the Interlake Eastern Region, to identify that there's a need for this long-term support. So what we're looking, which has been a resolution that's been passed by several of the municipalities in the Eastern Interlake, as well as they're already updating a similar one in St. Andrews today. And so we brought the resolution forward, which says, whereas access to appropriate hospice care is essential for supporting terminally ill residents and their families with dignity, compassion, and safety during the end-of-life care, and whereas residents of the Interlake Eastern regions currently lacks access to dedicated hospice facilities, and individuals are often placed in long-term care homes that are not designed or resourced to provide specialized end-of-life hospice care. Therefore, be it resolved that Council of Rome by St. Clement supports the petition entitled "Develop Hospice Cares for Terminally Ill People in Interlake and Eastern regions."
Okay. Deepak has read the resolution. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Strang, Councillor Horwath seconds. Any further discussion on the hospice care? Hearing and seeing none, call question. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay.
So the next item on the agenda, Madam Mayor, is change in our meeting dates.
All right.
And so, as was brought up earlier, the next meeting would have been the second Tuesday of the month, would be November 11th. And so we have several different options we can take into consideration, as well as our the fourth Tuesday of the month. The meeting automatically moves as per our bylaws, which says that it will be moved to the third Tuesday. So what we're recommending is that November just be a one meeting for that month.
Right.
And it would be 11th. Which would be the third Tuesday from the month.
The third Tuesday.
Oh, third Tuesday.
So you combine the planning meeting and our regular meeting together on one day?
Correct.
Okay, and that
Also,
was
there's only one meeting in that month.
Correct.
18th?
On the
Correct.
18th. I
Is what
believe
we're
it
recommending.
is.
November 18th, third Tuesday of the
Go ahead, Councillor Strang.
Those signs.
Well, if it's with planning, it will probably not start until 2.
Come in for 9:30. If we're combining both,
Yeah, you're right.
So you're gonna be here from 9:30 in the morning till 9 o'clock at night?
can we do everything
Can,
from 2 to
can we,
Well, you can make the agenda however you want, as much as you put on, right?
yeah, I guess it depends on what's on the agenda.
Well, it's more the planning matters that need to
be dealt with?
be dealt with, because then there is no planning meeting really in December. There normally isn't a planning meeting in December. But it's the third, yeah, or it's included in the second Tuesday, so that kind of throws a bit of a wrench into it too. But I guess I was thinking starting at 2 o'clock because we are doing planning.
Okay, great, it's fine.
Your thoughts?
I will work within those timelines.
Whatever four
If
of
we
the.
need to extend our meeting after, I place items on the agenda, the amount of discussion and how long it takes to process the meeting is council's prerogative.
Put 2 then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Midnight.
Well, and the other, go ahead, Councillor Strang.
Madam Mayor, I told you verbally, if I haven't
I was just
officially,
gonna
I
say this,
I'm
yeah,
away then.
yeah. Yeah.
And we get back, I'm away from the 7th to the 23rd.
7 to 23.
November 7th to 23rd.
Okay.
I
And the
can try
other-
and zoom in.
And the other thing that, I guess because we were out and about one day this week, the other thing that we kind of talked about is, not for now, but maybe for the new year, like some of our meetings, our day meetings have been fairly long, fairly lengthy. And even some of our planning ones, depending on how many planning items there are, like what would be the chances of maybe having one committee meeting, maybe every second month if there's a lot of stuff?
Hasn't been an issue up to now, has it? If we do meet a cow, we usually have it in the springtime.
Right, but I know that we've had a couple of pretty lengthy meetings starting at 2 in the afternoon and not getting out of here till 10 or 11.
I don't mind.
You're one, there's 7 of us. Go ahead, Councillor
Well,
Stray.
seriously,
I'm going to agree with Madam Mayor because we're quite a busy municipality and we have a lot of things going on.
It's gonna get busier with all
Yeah.
this construction and everything else going on.
And just with some of
subdivisions.
the, and I'm sure our CAO always has stuff to share with us, so
Only good
what's
stuff.
going on.
I'm not saying that
Only
it
good
has
stuff.
to be every month or every
No, well,
second
play it
week
by
or
ear.
whatever, kind of
We
play it
used
by
to have.
ear.
Yeah, if we need it,
Depending
then
on
we
what
do.
there is to bring forward, then we might have to have a committee of the whole meeting in between. Go ahead, Councillor Stray.
The other thing is I need to know, because I do have another job, so I need to know to book it off. Otherwise, they need, I'll be working.
Yeah. Okay.
So we can,
Comments? Deepak?
I can give you one comment.
Okay.
When I first came here in 2020, there was a meeting, part-time, it was a meeting every week.
Yeah.
It was either a committee of the whole or a council meeting, which meant that they were definitely short, but there was very little to discuss because there was no time in between. If I'm getting a meeting ready on a Friday or before the Friday as an agenda item, whether it's a committee of the whole or a regular meeting, that means I have Wednesday and Thursday to get it ready. And then the following week, all I have is Monday and Wednesday, because Tuesday is the meeting, Monday and Wednesday to get work done. That's my challenge in this side of it. So I'd like to balance that, and yes, accommodated me by going to 2 meetings a month mostly, but then I brought a lot of items on the agenda sometimes, because there's been a lot of things I was able to get done or bring forward for you.
or maybe you
Well,
just
the-
got better organized now, it's not that.
I might be able to get better organized, and
No, no, I mean
I'm
before.
willing to accommodate whatever council wishes.
No, but I'm saying before, when you first started, you said we have one every week. I'm just saying now you're better organized.
Well, the only other thing that I would suggest is, say, our 2 o'clock meeting, if we did have a lot of information on there, perhaps we could just have it starting at 1.
Sure.
Or noon. Eh? It's better than 9.
Just make it a little bit
yeah.
longer that way,
Yeah, noon is okay.
and still have the planning at 6. Maybe that's something that we could look at.
Top load it at the front instead of it's not at the bottom then. So noon is okay.
Yeah,
Eh?
it's always on, there have been meetings that were considered as a light agenda, like today. And we're,
We're doing okay.
We're not
we haven't got the community reports yet, so.
Okay, so let's move on. We got the signs and we will look at perhaps,
And there's nothing wrong with what you're doing, just so you understand.
yes.
Good governance requires dialogue. I
Okay,
won't say anymore.
so let's move on. I think now that we've, do we have any other, oh yes, the education property tax.
Well, we have to pass a resolution for this one meeting. for
Oh, okay, for
November.
November, okay.
Yes, and so for the one meeting in November, so be it resolved that pursuant to section 8.6 of the procedure bylaw number 12 of 2022, the regular meeting of council originally scheduled for Tuesday, November 11th, 2025, be changed to Tuesday, November 18th, 2025, at 2 p.m. and the administration be directed to advertise and post notice at least 7 days before November 11th in accordance with section 8.7 of the bylaw.
So are you doing 2 resolutions then?
No, the other meeting is automatically as per the
In the
bylaw.
bylaw, it's
That
not
moves
in
to
there
the
for the
third.
4th? Okay. Okay, so can I have a mover, please? Councillor Horbus, Councillor Spicer seconds. Any further discussion on the change in the meeting date? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried.
The next item is just for information, Madam Mayor. And so what this is that at the last meeting, Councilor Boulanger had asked that we provide pamphlets about contact information regarding the school board, trustees, and so forth. And there is something I would like to share with you as part of that. So the education taxes, the pamphlet was created, and so we created 2 pamphlets. One to basically identify how the education taxes or the schools sets taxes, the RM's role, and so forth. The other is based on the property taxes themselves, and these 2 pamphlets have been made available, and we hand them out to the customers when they come in. Every person that comes into the office is automatically receiving the school tax. And if they're interested in how that fits in their trustees, then we've also provided it as part of the property tax line, which tells you how your property taxes work. Or we're giving both brochures to anyone that's interested.
Go ahead, Councillor Horbus.
I have a different question, not about this, but from the last thing. So this on the 18th, is that going to be at noon? The time for it, or
No, it'll be
will
at
it still
2
be at 2? Okay.
And so,
Okay, so go ahead, Councillor Strang, sorry.
No problem. I think this is an excellent pamphlet, and I just have to say too bad that it didn't go in with our tax bill that people would have got, because not everybody is on the internet. And
true, but if they are showing up at the office when they have their bills,
so
they
they're
are
getting,
getting it.
they're
The
getting
hard
it
copy is
under-
receiving, is being handed out to everyone.
automatically,
Automatic.
giving it to them right at that time. Perfect.
As well, what we did was, and just so it's understood, about the internet. So as part of that, what we did was we created some videos as part of this. They were put out on our social media, those videos that I shared with you, that if you had a chance to review them, I encourage you to review them, because of the property tax videos, we have 2 of them. One is on the property tax bill and walks you through what the property tax bill. Okay, let me just change. This is very frustrating that it continues to change my sound settings.
Pretty consistent every year. You'll see those bills pop up in your mailbox mid-summer, and the payment is always due on October 31st.
So
but
this one walks you through it, tells you about the arrears, tells you about when it's due, and talks about it. So that was one of them. Okay. Just to give you an idea of this one video, we put it on Facebook, we share it with our residents. And I'll just reduce the sound
and what it really
speaking.
means for your wallet. The big number you need to remember
And so
is
that one,
$1,500.
as it was posted
That's
on
it.
Facebook,
That's the new
on our
maximum
Facebook site,
credit
it was
limit that
shared
you can see,
with
which, by the way,
other people
pretty nice increase when the old
that
credits put together.
read it or saw it,
So
shared
how
it.
do they figure out what you get?
At the end of the day,
Well, it's
just on
not
our
just a
Facebook,
flat
which
$200
records every
for
time it
everybody.
gets played,
The credit you receive
that-
is the lesser of
that has now been
either
paid.
$1,500
Just
or
so
whatever
let
you
me
pay
put
in
it
school
on
taxes.
that has been now played 5,100 times. So that video has been watched at least. Now, obviously, I've played it a few times here, so it's not exactly 1-to-1 ratio, but it's showing you that there's a significant. Heather can speak to it, and I think the staff could. On the Monday, we put this, on Friday we put it out, that week, that first week, we were receiving a lot of calls. And Heather figures it's probably around a 40% reduction in calls that are coming in because we were able to get this information. So I do agree that it would have been better, but the level of people watching this one video alone, the next video is very, very specific. So when we get in here, not only do we have the video on our website, we call people to come here, and we give them the pamphlet, which also has a QR code on there, so they can go onto the website. This also has the brochure, the pamphlets there. It also has the relevant information associated with what are those two pamphlets. It talks about the payment methods, it gives the forms to fill out, and so and this is the other more important video that I really encourage you to watch because this is the one that speaks to.
To an introduction on the changes to property taxes.
So this talks about the home assistance tax program, and it specifically brings up the issues about how it impacts you if you have secondary residences and the primary residence in the maximum amount, because I think that's where the biggest. And it talks about the school taxes, understanding the program, the key differences from the previous credits, how it works. It talks about the cottage conundrum. If you own a cottage, you are no longer receiving even $1,500, so you're automatically getting a $1,500 increase. And it tells about how that works with the impacts. Now benefits only principal residences. Elimination on other non-primary residence, rental, commercial properties are no longer getting a credit. Regional impact. So how the RM is impacted by this. And so we received some very good comments on this, so I just wanted to share that all with you. So all this information is here. That entire slideshow there, along with what the text was, is made available for people to print out as well and hand out. And so everything that was said on that video is also available with the slide and the text that goes along with that slide.
Didn't seniors used to get a tax break too, Deepak?
Yes.
They don't anymore, right?
No, they still get a tax break.
On their what, so.
On the, they don't get it on here, income tax.
Oh, it's on your income tax, so your accountant or you would have to fill that out and you get a tax break. On your main dwelling or what, or? Just on your principal dwelling, the same thing, yeah. And so this gives you the information that's needed here, the various forms that need to be filled out, talks about farm properties, farm school rebate and so forth. So it goes through all the details. So we've encouraged all our residents to go there, and we continue to encourage them. Farms get a rebate?
Yep. Farmland school rebate was implemented in 2004 to support the rural economy. Yep.
And those forms are good?
Those forms are good. Okay, so that covers the property tax and the information that we've been sharing. And along with that, we are sending out the October newsletter that's going to be sent out. So with the October newsletter, much of the same information has been, as well as the contact information for our school trustees will be in the newsletter.
That's great, well done.
So you have to pay your taxes and then you get your rebate?
Correct. Well, no.
For your farm?
No,
I'm talking
for your farm, yes. For the
Yeah.
farm, but normally for your others, you would either get a rebate that was already identified as a principal dwelling, but if it wasn't, and it is your principal dwelling, then you come here and let us know, and then we'll apply the rebate.
Okay.
And then we go and collect the rest of the funding from the province manager for any rebates or shortfalls that were there. So, respectful workplace harassment and violence prevention. So that's our next policy. So we've had a respectful workplace policy, a respected workplace policy that's been within the organization for many, many years. In the last little while, we've looking at updating it. Heather's done a great job of looking at updating it, and what we have now is a revised policy for a respectful workplace and harassment and violence in the workplace. And we just brought it forward for council as an adoption. We haven't brought it sooner because we were we're still working on it, and now that it's completed, we're hoping to adopt it as our new policy with council, and with that new policy, our intent is to implement it, and then we're going to be going some additional training with our staff as part of it. So this is a standard, and it also aligns with workplace health and safety. That wasn't done, that wasn't completed in the past.
Go ahead, Councillor Spicer.
So, 2 requests. One is, can you kind of briefly go over what you've changed? Because when I went through the agenda, there was just the revised policy in it, not the current one. And secondly, I'm assuming that you've done research on other municipalities and maybe even ran this by our HR lawyer?
This has gone through to HR consultants, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And what changed was ours was very outdated, so I brought it up to legislative with the workplace health and safety, labor board, acts, all of that. And then more of a formal, like, how does an incident get investigated? How does it end? Like, ours, the old one's on there now. I apologize, I didn't realize they didn't put it on there. The current one, that is. So you'll see that much larger than what the current one is.
A lot of that is dealing with basically workplace health and safety requirements, making sure we're meeting the fitment and FIA requirements and those kinds of things.
And I think there's been likely some changes based on, you know, if a person's working from home, that kind of stuff, like covering those new situations that probably weren't in place in, what was it, 2004?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for that explanation.
Okay, so if everyone's okay with that, Madam Mayor, I'll read the resolution.
Yeah, go right
Resolve,
ahead.
council accept the proposed changes and adopt policy number 112, respectful workplace harassment and violence prevention, and that said policy be incorporated in policy manual.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Sutherland, second. Councillor Spicer. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, next item 6.14, the Boulder Bay Cottage Owners Association.
Okay, thank you, Madam Mayor. This is a request for some additional support for a letter that they want to put forward for a grant at the Boulder Bay for upgrading their shared water non-potable system.
Okay.
And so what we have is a resolution to accept their request that they want to apply for the Selkirk District Community Foundation for some support. They're not asking for any additional funds from us. They have their own sort of funding mechanism where all the cottagers contribute towards keeping the system up to date and so forth, and they're just looking for some support from the Selkirk Community District Foundation.
Okay. Any questions or comments?
Do they have year-round supply? Do a lot of people live there?
Good question, I'm not sure, Councilor. I think it does have a, I think it is constantly running.
The other ones developed, so everything is drained at the all. I really don't think that they, could be wrong. There's any water supply in the winter. Unless Boulder Bay's do, I'm just saying. I don't know.
Thank you for that, Councilor.
Okay, so if we're okay with providing them some support, can we bring the resolution forward?
Whereas the Boulder Bay Cottagers Association has requested support of the Willis about in the form a formal letter in support of their application of the Selkirk District Community Foundation grant program for the repair and upgrade of the registered non-potable water pump serving their community. And whereas the non-potable water system provides important community benefits, including lawn and garden care, fire safety through extinguishing bonfires and supplementing individual cottage water supplies, and is regarded as a valued and essential piece of infrastructure for the Boulder Bay community. And whereas the system is duly registered with the Provincial Water Infrastructure Registry, ensuring compliance with regulatory requirements, and whereas the Boulder Bay Association has not requested any financial contribution from the Romas Levy in connection with this project, therefore be it resolved that Council authorize the issuance of a letter of support to the Selkirk Industry Community Foundation endorsing the Boulder Bay Cottagers Association application for grant funding toward the repair and upgrade of their non-potable water pump system.
Can I have a mover? Councillor Horwath, second. Councillor Boulanger. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, item 6.15, that's Grammar and District Seniors requesting a donation.
Sorry, Madam Mayor?
Remembrance Day, 16.15. 6.15, sorry.
Okay. Mine needed to be updated, sorry. So Grand Marais and District Seniors donation request. So this one is the Grand Marais and District Seniors are seeking monetary donation to the Grand Marais Remembrance Day ceremony that you were just recently invited to. And what they're looking for is asking for $497.32 over the, they're asking for a total of $500. So council is aware we're already approximately $500 over our allotted budget for 2025, but we don't see that as a significant impact at this point, but it will impact in the future. So we're saying that we recommend approval for the $500 request.
Okay, questions, comments? I would suggest to bring the resolution forward, please.
Certainly. Whereas the Grand Marais District Seniors are organizing an annual Remembrance Day ceremony to be held at the Grand Marais Community Central at 10:30 a.m. on November 11, 2025, and whereas the ceremony is a community event coordinated on a modest budget of $500, and the Grand Marais and District Seniors have requested financial assistance in supporting the event, and whereas Council recognizes the importance of the Remembrance Day ceremony in honoring veterans and supporting community remembrance, therefore be it resolved that the Council approve the donation of up to $500 towards the cost of the 2025 Grand Marais Remembrance Day ceremony, with eligible expenses to be reimbursed by administration following the submission of receipts from the Grand Marais District Seniors.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Bazar-Oj, Councillor Horwath seconds. Councillor Spicer, question.
Is this a new request or?
It is.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't think we did this last year.
Before.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
And this is for the seniors, sorry.
That's okay, yes, seniors.
Seniors.
Yeah, well, I think they're the ones that put the Remembrance Day service together. So, and I think, if I remember correctly, they have kind of a bit of a luncheon after the ceremony.
Just a small, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But I don't think it's food that's cooked at the GMCC.
no, that's right.
And then there's no kitchen.
Okay.
I have a mover, I have a seconder,
That we know of.
and I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Oh, Lord, you guys. Okay, we're going to move on to number 7 on our agenda, which is the finances. The first item is the closed list of accounts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Resolved, the Council approve the September 23rd, 2025 list of accounts, check numbers 25001085 to 25001156 in the amount of $588,523.97 for payment.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Sutherland, second, please. Councillor Boulanger, any further discussion on the list of accounts? Hearing and seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
approve.
Resolved that the August 31st, 2025 financial statements be adopted as presented.
Can I have a mover, please? Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Sutherland, Councillor Horwath seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, call the question. All those in favor, opposed, carried.
Okay, thank you, Madam Mayor. The next item is grants. We have a grant request from Red River North Tourism. We have budgeted $10,000. This is the $10,000, which is $8,000 towards regular requests and then $2,000 for the St. Clement specific events for a total of $10,000. They provided the details associated, and they say that they do provide much more detail at the at AGM afterwards. And requesting $10,000, and it's being recommended to be approved.
Okay. Any questions, comments?
So this is already in the budget, it's not over,
No.
like you said before. Thank you.
Go ahead, Councillor Strand.
I didn't know that they had to apply for a grant. I thought it was just one of our committees that it normally got sent, because we have those certain committees for those groups that we belong to that we normally get monies automatically.
I get the money automatically, but it still comes as a yearly grant, just like our community centers that are receiving funding. We budget for them separately, and the money is there. It's still a grant application. Still a grant.
I didn't
I
think so.
think we passed resolution though. Like it was, it's included with the budget. And
You're just asking for an extra $2,000.
Yeah, if it's 8, then we don't have to, but if it's 10, we have to pass it, right? Because they're asking for more. Is that why?
No.
They've always done the 10 all the
They've
time.
always
We'll
received
have a
it.
discussion.
I can take a look into it a little bit further.
Yeah, we can pass this and you
And
know,
then I can
just,
take a look
yeah,
into it so that it
have
doesn't
a look
happen again.
at it. Go ahead, Councillor Strang.
Another thing that I wanted to bring up, I had a good discussion when we had the paddle challenge on Sunday. And one of the things that I brought up to them was, and this just came out of the blue, that how some of the groups that come forward, and whether it's coming to ourselves, St. Andrews, or to the city of Selkirk, because we always try to all stay equal in giving donations. I just made a comment to Marilyn, and I said, you know what, I feel that some of the groups are coming and double dipping. And they're already coming through Red River North Tourism, and she totally agrees 100%. We are having, with some of the stakeholders, we are having a meeting in October. And I know after that meeting, we are going to get together, Red River North Tourism would like to get together with the arm of St. Andrews, St. Clements, and the city of Selkirk. They will send out a note and to pick a date so all three of us can get together. But they want to know, like, what do you want out of us going forward? And so, like we did the paddle challenge, we had the massage therapist there. She said, really? You guys have that extra $2,000 that you've been giving us, and we keep on asking, like, what do you want us to participate? Because they want to be our tourism, like, that's the same thing I always bang on Brendan, go to them. They're a tool that's free, sitting there just to get tourism out. So I said to Brendan, like, that's one of the things we can put towards. That would give us extra money sitting around this table too, that we can put to something more local. I know there's times that, say, to some of our communities that and it's okay if Red River North Tourism and we get our name out there too, but some of the other ones, we should be letting it just go through Red River North Tourism. We should be directing them, like, I'm gonna say Beaches of 59. Let them go through Red River North Tourism because they donate to them too and they participate. So when we've given that extra money, like, we have money sitting there that hasn't been used up yet, of extra funds for us to promote our municipality. It was just a discussion, and I said it was good discussion, and I said I'd bring it to council.
So what you're saying is that if Beaches of 59 ask us for money, we should tell them to go to
Red River North.
Red River North?
Which they already do. But I said to her, all of us have to get on the same page.
You would still have to give the money, or go to them?
Get
for
what
the
they
money?
want through them.
Good, yeah, through them, yeah. And then Marilyn said that they would give through Red River North Tourism, representing whether it's us or, like, St. Andrews or City of Selkirk. But I said, we all, as 3 groups, have to get them on the same page. And she said that's something that she would like to discuss later on, because she said there is that double, that we are using funds here, sitting around the table, but then we have those funds sitting with them too, to be used. So, and I said, I totally agreed. I said, we actually talk about it, sitting around the table here, how they're going to 2 places, right? It would cut back on some of the funding at some of these places, but you know what? They have to realize that Red River North Tourism is our tourism destination.
And
but
can do what they want done.
exactly. And they promote them a lot. So, anyways, that was just a discussion that we had. It was a good discussion about that, so. I said I'd take it back to the council table, so we have to think about that when making decisions too and giving up grants.
I will read the resolution. Resolved, council approved the following 2025 requested grant budget, Red River North Tourism 2025, $10,000.
Did you just bring it in? Well, I didn't. Moved by Councillor Strang, second by Councillor Sutherland. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, call the question. All those in favor, opposed, carried. Okay, we'll do this one more and then we'll go in.
So this is another request. This is a first time for this request as well. The Canadian Polish Athletic Club has planned to do some aerating of their fields, and they are requesting for support of $420.
Okay, do you want to bring the resolution forward?
Certainly. Resolved, council approved the following 2025 grant request, Canadian Polish Athletic Club sports field aeration, $420.
Can I have a roll, please, Councillor Horvis, Councillor Bazarowitz seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, call the question. All those in favor, opposed, carried. And I guess we can have a resolution to go in camera, please, Mr. Administrator.
Certainly. Resolved that council recess the regular meeting and go into in camera to discuss legal and personnel issues, and further be resolved that all matters discussed are confidential as per section 83(1)(d) of the Municipal Act.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Horvis, Councillor Strang seconds. All in favor, opposed, carried.
So we can do supper, and we'll go through some of the in-camera items. And if you want, Madam Mayor, we can start at 5:30 instead of 6, and that will give us an opportunity to address the other items before we get into the planning.
Perfect.